It's Christmas time, and if you're a fan of basketball, you know what that means. It's not the time for presents or spending time with family, it's basketball time. The NBA on Christmas is a tradition that predates the NBA itself. With its origins dating back to 1947, let's look at the history, legacy, and the iconic marketing of the most celebrated day in basketball. While it's never been anything official, it seems like certain sports have always had their holidays. The NFL has been playing football on Thanksgiving Day since 1920. College football bowl games have been occurring on or around New Year's since 1902. The NBA on Christmas is the youngest of these traditions, starting in 1947, playing in all except one season. And while there's been crossover from the years, the NFL has long avoided playing on Christmas unless it falls on a Sunday or Monday, such as this week's Raiders-Chiefs matchup. The NHL, the other major sport to take place during the winter, is forbidden from playing on Christmas, as well as the 24th and 26th. There hasn't been a professional hockey game on Christmas in over 50 years. The NBA, being the smaller league, can't compare with the NFL on Thanksgiving Day and hasn't played a game on Turkey Day since the 2010 season. Football is the Thanksgiving as basketball is the Christmas, and for the most part, the leagues have avoided in taking the other's holiday. The NBA on Christmas is a tradition that predates the league itself. In 1947, the NBA was known as its previous name, the BAA, or the Basketball Association of America. 2 years later, the BAA would combine with the NBL, the National Basketball League, to form the NBA. The NBA recognizes the 3 seasons of the BAA, thus starting NBA history before the NBA. The first game saw the New York Knicks defeat the Providence Steamrollers 89-75. Since then, Christmas basketball has been a hit. Every single season besides the 1999 lockout shortened season, the league has had an NBA Christmas game. And for the last 16 seasons, the league has featured 5 key matchups throughout the span of Christmas Day, totaling for up to 13 straight hours of basketball coverage. Unlike the NFL, the league hasn't held a tradition with featuring the same teams. The earliest of games were scheduled for geographic convenience, allowing for players and coaches to travel easy and still be with their families. So it's no surprise that the teams that have played the most on Christmas Day are those on the East or West Coast. The New York Knicks lead all teams playing on Christmas Day 55 times. The Lakers lead all time in Christmas wins, winning 24 to the Knicks 23. Every single team has played on Christmas except for the Charlotte Hornets, and every single team has won on Christmas except for the Memphis Grizzlies. The winningest team on Christmas Day is the Miami Heat with an impressive 11-2 record, and head coach Eric Spoelstra has never lost a game. A massive advantage that the NBA has over the NFL is its flexibility in scheduling. While it has been dominated by teams like the Knicks and Lakers, the flexibility in scheduling allows for the best teams to have the best matchups. This year's games will feature the last 4 NBA champions, with all 5 games involving a former MVP. For 2009 and 2010, the league would put the Cavs and Lakers and the Heat and Lakers together on Christmas to allow for back-to-back Kobe Bryant and LeBron James matchups, with LeBron's teams winning both times. Another famous Kobe matchup would happen in 2004. This would be Shaquille O'Neal's first game against Kobe, as well as his first game returning back to Los Angeles. Shaq and the Heat would win in his return, winning 104-102, as Kobe famously missed what would have been a game-winning three-pointer in overtime. Bryant actually has a losing record on Christmas games, with his most famous performance in a win being that in 2007 against the 7 seconds or less Phoenix Suns. Kobe would lead all players in scoring 38 points with a wide variety of highlight plays. In 2003, LeBron would play his first ever Christmas game against one of the best all-time Christmas performers in Tracy McGrady. McGrady, known as one of the best scorers of all time, holds the record for the highest average score on Christmas Day, averaging 43 points per game on Christmas. His matchup versus a rookie LeBron saw him score just 41 points, the lowest of his Christmas career. Famously, after defeating LeBron and his Cavs, McGrady would go on to predict the future, claiming there's no way that he is as good as he is, and thinks what he is going to do to the league is ugly. As we know, that was a massive understatement. This would be far from the last of what we would see LeBron do on Christmas. LeBron would go on to play more and win more on Christmas than anybody, playing in 17, gonna be 18 games for his career, and along with Dwayne Wade, has a record of winning 10 games. more than any other player. In his first Christmas game as a member of the Miami Heat, he would defeat Kobe Bryant's Lakers and become the first player in 40 years to have a Christmas triple-double. In 2016, LeBron and Kyrie would win one of the most famous Christmas matchups of all time. Just that summer, the Cleveland Cavaliers made the greatest comeback of all time in a 3-1 finals comeback against the Warriors. There was even more anticipation with the addition of Kevin Durant. The Cavaliers would go on to make a 14-point fourth quarter comeback to defeat the Warriors. LeBron would post 31 points and Kyrie would hit a game winner with just 3 seconds left. LeBron and Durant would then go on to play for the next 2 Christmases, splitting victories and not seeing each other again for the next 5 seasons. But LeBron isn't the only GOAT to play on Christmas. In 1986, Michael Jordan made his Christmas debut against the New York Knicks. Chicago would lose 86-85 in a putback buzzer beater by Hall of Fame center Patrick Ewing. Jordan would never lose on Christmas again, averaging 28 points in his 6 games played. And Michael Jordan isn't the only Bull to have a legendary performance on Christmas. In 1994, his teammate Scottie Pippen would play all 53 minutes in an overtime effort, put up 36 points, 16 rebounds, and score all of Chicago's overtime points to defeat the New York Knicks 107-104. In 2011, Derrick Rose and the Bulls would face Kobe's Lakers, with Rose hitting a game-winning floater to defeat LA 88-87. I could go on and on about famous performances, such as Nikola Jokic in 2022 or Bernard King dropping 60 points, a Christmas record, in 1984. Or even other events such as a rookie Patrick Ewing leading a 25-point comeback, or Aaron Gordon ending Landry Shamet's career. Phil Jackson became the fastest coach to ever win 1,000 games on Christmas Day. Or Christmas in 2004, where the Pacers and Pistons would play each other for the first time since the Malice at the Palace. You get the point. Basketball on Christmas is full of legendary performances and legendary iconic NBA moments. It's no surprise that players and coaches like Doc Rivers, Dwight Howard, Mike D'Antoni, Lamar Odom, and others have called playing on Christmas an honor, with many around the league seeing the NBA on Christmas as the best day of the regular season. It's no surprise that NBA Christmas games are often the highest viewed games outside of the finals. And I also can't help but mention the advertising, especially during the mid-2010s. The NBA could not miss when it came to advertising from 2012 to 2016. Adidas produced special Christmas uniforms every year, such as the big color, big logo, and sleeve uniforms. Personally, I loved Adidas's versions of uniforms, despite a few of them seeming possibly underwhelming now. But the limited versions always gave the Christmas game days a different feel, and it's no hot take to say that I like these more than Nike just doing away with Christmas uniforms. To pair along with the uniforms were some of the most iconic commercials the NBA has ever aired. In 2012, the league would show off their color uniforms in a commercial featuring Dwight Howard, Carmelo Anthony, Joe Johnson, Russell Westbrook, and Dwayne Wade dribbling to Carol of the Bells. The next year, they would debut their most famous commercial of all time, Jingle Hoops, showing off Christmas Day uniforms with what would go on to be 6 MVPs: Derrick Rose, Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, James Harden, Steve Nash, and LeBron James. But none of these hold a candle to my favorite Christmas commercial of all time. In 2012, the NBA and TNT released NBA's The Greatest, featuring Live Forever by Drew Holcomb and the Neighbors. Their original commercial, which lasts just under 2 minutes, depicts current and former players going against each other with this incredibly emotional song in the background. I get shivers every single time when I hear the words "I want you to live forever" when showing Steve Nash standing next to the late great Pete Maravich, or when Wilt Chamberlain blocks Dwight Howard, or when we see Michael Jordan celebrating alongside Derrick Rose. While the NBA may have had more entertaining or funny commercials, no commercial has ever made me feel as much as this one does. And for something released in 2012, at least from the time that I remember it, it was definitely impressive seeing how well some of the editing looked with the players going against each other. I'll leave a link to it in the comment section because there is not a single fan who can watch this with dry eyes. The NBA on Christmas is bigger than a single day or a single matchup. They represent a fusion of sports, tradition, and unforgettable memories that have woven themselves into the fabric of the NBA. Between the nostalgia of historic games, the modern day matchups, or the famous marketing, the NBA on Christmas is undoubtedly the best day of the regular season and will always hold a special place in the hearts of many fans. If you enjoyed this journey throughout the NBA's Christmas legacy, you can give me the greatest Christmas present of all by hitting the like button and subbing to the channel. Thank you for joining me in reliving these legendary moments, and until next time, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and I will catch you guys all next time.